I'm Aneta Vaine. I'm from the Lithuanian Free Market Institute. Our mission is to promote the principles and ideas of individual freedom and responsibility, free market and limited government. So we were one of the, if not the first, free market think tank in Central Eastern Europe. Back then, we had to transition our economy from the Soviet regime to a market economy, to a new order. And of course, nobody had the expertise and the knowledge about it, but there was this group of very young and dedicated economists. That group of young individuals, young economists, they just felt that it was their responsibility. They started working on crafting the legal and institutional basis of economic institutions, laying down the foundations for the first stock exchange, for the securities market. Then followed a currency board system that we made into law. We started building the culture of philanthropy in Lithuania, the culture of private giving. We are non-partisan, and now we are happy to say that we have built our ecosystem thanks to that dedication and passion and responsibility that the Institute showed in those early days. As private initiative took over, and then there was this challenge of really looking for new markets. We had to really reorientate the economy, which was of course a big challenge. Again, learning how to find those new markets, how to make contacts, how to find partners, how to make sure that we have the supplies. So that's when we suggested having a currency board system, and it was just a one-page law that we drafted that basically said that all money circulation is backed 100% by gold and foreign currency reserves, hard currency reserves, at a fixed exchange rate. So that was, I think it's still rated as one of Lithuania's most important reforms, because we had sound money for 21 years. The government couldn't print money without it being backed. Our first project with the Rising Tide Foundation was about labor market reforms, about liberalizing employment regulations and removing barriers for people to work and to earn money. So we had 5 countries in our project from Central Eastern Europe, and from Poland and the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Bulgaria. So basically, we looked at what regulations, what hiring, working hours regulations, redundancy regulations obstructed employment and prevented people from seeking jobs and from seeking social mobility opportunities. We had an amazing educational project which is called Freedom Talks, and that project is about youth debates. So basically, we trained educators to bring the culture of debate to schools and beyond schools, like in youth centers, in day centers. And the idea was to create a safe space for them to discuss things that bother them. They said that they discovered in themselves this power of argumentation, this power of discussion and dialogue, and that it can be done in a very civilized way. Once we have issues and problems, if we talk about them, if we bring all the arguments and put them on the table and we can discuss them, we can be heard, we can share our thoughts, we can listen to others, and then we can really form a better understanding of the world around us and of ourselves in that world. So we are just starting the work on how we can build better narratives for the young generation, for the rising generation, using this broader cultural tradition, not just economic principles and economic knowledge, which is key, which is critical. But economics itself, is built on the principles of being, is built on what defines the human condition, what defines us as human beings in the first place. And when we talk about economics and economic principles, economic institutions, economic regularities, it's not that economics dictates things to human beings and humanity. It's humanity as it is dictates the economic reality, and we should be aligned with those regularities. The Rising Tide Foundation gave us an opportunity to start doing those things. Although, as I said, we've been working on interdisciplinary narratives for the past 10 years. One of our flagship projects that we've been doing is this project on the phenomenon of lack, how it basically shapes who we are as human beings, how we respond to the reality in this world, and how we cooperate and how we coexist. Agency, when we activate our agency, it's always in response to some incompleteness in us and in the world around us, some incompleteness that we can fill in using our faculties, using our reason, using our ingenuity. So agency is always a response to some sort of lacking in us and around us. Without incompleteness in us and in the world around us, there would be no journey for us. There would be no growth, no advancement, and no pursuits.